My friends think that I eat out so much, I should do some cafe reviews. Bicycle parking is one element of bicycle infrastructure, and it is often a complete afterthought. I'm going to showcase some cafes and their food and coffee, but the main thing that I want to show you is how normal it is to find convenient bike parking outside Perth cafes. The result is reduced demand for on-street parking, less congestion and traffic noise, and more business for the cafes.
Sorry about the sun behind me, but it's breakfast time, and that just happens to be where the sun is. So this morning we're going past the noisy train line, and I'm in Claremont, and we're going to a place which started off as a cute little bakery over in Leederville, was it? Mount Hawthorn, and has since been franchised, I think, and has expanded into half a dozen cafes. I haven't gone past it. Okay, haven't eaten here for a couple of months. I like the food at these places and the coffee. They adjust their menu on a seasonal basis, and they come up with really interesting food. There's nothing boring about the food at these places. I don't like the ambience of most of them. I don't think they've chosen the best locations. Whoops, just need to cut across the nature strip. And this place in particular is a bit of a shady wind tunnel, so it can be a bit horrible and cold sitting up front of it. But, you know, it's Mary Street Bakery, that's what it's called. But it's certainly worth coming here for the food. Some of the other ones I don't like that much. Just hang on a sec. Yeah, some of the others I don't like that much because the service can be just atrocious. In particular, there's one branch where every time I've been there, it's just been an absolute head shaker how bad the service has been, even by Perth standards. Anyway, let's go see what the menu's got on it today. I'm sure things have changed since I was last here.
Now, you think that'd make it easy to get off the shared path on a bicycle and across the road and to the cafe. Well, I mean, this isn't the cafe owner's fault or the building owner's fault, it's somebody else's fault. But as you can see, there's a fairly steep curb you've got to get up there, and there's no ramp anywhere to allow access to, well, not only the cafe, but this entire apartment complex over here. And as you can see from the hoarding there's even more apartments going in. I actually know the bloke who owns the company that's building on that sandpit. So this is the outdoor wind tunnel. Those bike racks there are new. They weren't there back in May, so that's nice that they've put those in. Much easier to secure the bike. Unfortunately, you can't see your bike from when you're sitting down either outside or inside the cafe, but I doubt there's much chance someone's going to come along with a hacksaw and chop your bike lock. And there's the sandpit where there's going to be some more 4 or 5 story apartments soon. This is what it looked like back in May before those bike racks went in. That's where I had to lock my bike up. I just had to loop the chain around the fence there, which wasn't ideal. And obviously, you know, bikes would fall over and get in the way of people walking on the path.
Well, my apologies if I look like I'm squinting, because I am. I'm riding right into the sun. Not much I can do about that. Was that place as good as I remember? Yeah, I think it was. Menu had certainly changed. They had a really interesting thing. They had truffles on the menu for $30. So I avoided that. Didn't quite feel that rich this morning. But what I did have was avocado with what I call a Thai or Asian influence. It had lots of spicy shallots and a bit of chili in it. Really good, very different take on your typical avocado, smashed avocado and goat's cheese on toast. Very tasty. Although when it came out, I thought, geez, that's a tiny little serve. That's not going to keep me going very long this morning. But actually it turned out to be quite sufficient, and I'm now nicely full, so can't complain about that. Service was it's 9 o'clock on Monday morning, hardly anyone there, not a lot of staff, so I'm not going to complain about the service by any means. Look, certainly once they got going, service was really good, but maybe I just got there when there was a bit of a gap in staffing. Sat inside for the first time. Normally I like to sit outside there, but it's only going to get up to 17 today. It's probably a bit over 10 degrees at the moment. and there's a pretty cold breeze blowing, and unfortunately that location is a wind tunnel, and when the wind gets blowing outside there and it's cold, it's really very unpleasant. You don't want to be sitting out there for more than a couple of minutes. So I didn't today. So if you want something that's not your typical bacon and egg roll, that kind of thing, that's definitely a good place to go. They did have a bacon and egg bap on the menu, and I've had it, and I do remember it being quite good. But if you're after something really a bit off the wall, then that place never disappoints. And I've got to say, I think out of the 5 or 6 cafes in that chain, I'm trying hard to decide if that's my favourite or my second favourite. I will probably, well, I'll see if I can actually visit all of them and rate them and tell you the positives and negatives of each one. Obviously their positive is the food, there's no doubt about it. And the coffee's always good too. And the staff there, heaps better than the other cafes. Just the experience I've had in most of the others has been utterly abysmal when it comes to service. That place, I think, is top of the pops. But I think what does let it down is, it's the architect that designed that housing development and kind of created that partly shaded wind tunnel, and I'm not sure what it's going to be like when the sandpit next door gets turned into a multi-storey apartments, whether that place is going to be in the shade all day. It could be like dining in a drainage pipe under the road once that thing gets going in terms of, shade and all the rest of it. But look, for a delicious little morning snack, I give it 2 thumbs up.
Well, since we're interested in bike infrastructure, I thought I'd better finish by actually summarising the bike infrastructure here. Good. It's good. Okay, getting across the road and up the curb is a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. At least there is a reasonable amount of good, solid, safe bike parking right at the entrance to the cafe. I like that. Every cafe in Sydney should be like this as well.